welcome to another episode of Rugby Through the League's Grassroots Days. Today we are down at Hellingly in Sussex. Travel a bit further away from home today, branching out to watch Hellingly versus Crowborough 2s. After all the issues with trying to find the league places, speaking to the club, this is a top of the table clash. Hellingly are sitting in second place, 6 points behind Crowborough, but with the game in hand. So it puts a massive emphasis on today's game. If Hellingly can get a positive result, the league's wide open again. For all those that have watched Carry On, I just want to reiterate something myself and Adam did a couple of days ago. We went to Rugby against Cancer charity game versus Rosman Park All-Stars. Again, I just want to iterate, if anyone can spare anything, any pennies, please go to Rugby Against Cancer's charity Instagram page, any of their social medias. You'll find links through there, be able to donate some money. Hopefully today, the weather seems quite nice compared to other days I've done. Good looking pitch out there, bit soft. Hopefully some exciting rugby, bring you more throughout the day. Right, guys, I've got Ian here. Ian is first team coach.
Yeah, well, head coach and DOR of Hellingly, so I'm director of rugby as well here. So I get to manage it all really, at the moment. I've got a couple of assistant coaches, which are great, and sort of leading through from the front, really.
Perfect. How long have you been at Hellingly?
So I came to Hellingly in 2002, maybe, as a bit of a youngster. I'd played before there, but and then I'd played here for a little while, gone away, and then I came back about 2.5 years ago, asked to pick up a bit of coaching. I took over from Nigel, who was here before, and we had last year, and that was a building season this last year, and then this year we've sort of just really developed this year, and we're slowly building, with strength and depth, and that's what the idea we're looking for.
Just want to apologise now if I murder your name. Hellingly, is it?
Hellingly is,
perfect.
Yeah,
I'll try and get that right for now, I promise you. Crowborough 2s.
Yep.
Start of the season, early game. Unfortunately, they did quite a number of you, 40-0.
Yeah. So we went up there with maybe 14, 15 men. We didn't have the numbers. Start of the season, collecting players. Some players had gone off elsewhere and then realised it's better here anyway,
Grass is never greener, is it?
No, that's right, yeah. And we went up and we got tonked. It was a really soaking wet pitch, and, well, as it always is, start losing, and it just went downhill from there. Crowborough were very strong, and given their hands, they turned out a really great game. And, what can I say?
Obviously, on the back of that, your prep leading up to this, how's your prep been? What's you been focused for this game?
So the last couple of games we've been really working hard on focusing and keeping structure. So this year it's all been about structure and people learning their positions, because a lot of them are really green from rugby, and they're really learning. And we're sort of developing each player, and then we're moving them around different positions so they learn the positions. So this year, the last couple of weeks, the last 2 weeks, we've had good two training sessions where we've been developing the structure and just building people's hands and building up, getting forwards to be a little bit more confident on the ball. At the moment, I would say like maybe 3-4 months ago, we were like, we're going to run it out the jumper. Now I've got forwards that want to offload. So, it's just great.
Sounds a bit like my history of rugby. I think as a kid started at fullback, then I realised that I couldn't run, couldn't catch, couldn't kick, and I moved away to the front row. So I played 1, 2 and 3. So so I know about forwards who can't handle it.
I get it, but I've got front rowers now that, can pass. And they never did, They've got hands out in front of them now instead of hands on like T-Rexes,
Look at that. The game's moving forward now. They're brilliant. Talking about the team, how's your team looking today? Any players coming in? Any players missing out?
So we've got we had 28 to select from this week. So we've had to drop a couple of real key players this week. One due to injury, and we've just rested him this week. But another player that's he's going off for a bit of development somewhere else for a game this week, which was a real good attitude from him as well, which is brilliant attitude. And we've got a really strong side. The depth and the strength in this team now is much, much better. We've got a few players away on a stag do, but we've been able to fill those spots with other players that are just as good and just as confident. And I've got big confidence today that I think we're going to come out and I'm not saying that Crowborough 2s are going to be tough. They are going to be tough. They've had some really good wins this year. But I really think that going forward, we might just topple that today.
As I said on my introduction, top table clash, game in hand at the moment on them.
Yep.
Puts the emphasis on today, win good today, win that game in hand.
Yep.
That league could either be completely eradicated or close to 1 point, and it's a massive.
So the
push.
start of the season, we were looking to get sort of second or third, top of the table. You know, we weren't looking for promotion this year. We just wanted to build that strength and depth, you know, in the club. So we had this team, but that strength and depth has come a lot earlier than I thought. Just after Christmas, I've picked up a few players, and it's been fantastic. And I think going forward, we're now seeking promotion. So top of the table clash, the boys know that. But we've humbled to it. We're not putting a lot of pressure on them. They're just going to go out and do their job, and that's what I want them to do.
But do things now. Strength and depth. Any players we need to look out for today?
Oh, who can I pick out? This is great. Aidan Walsam, second row, really good player. Makes some really good hits, really contactive. Billy Wigman. He's been playing back row, but we've moved him onto the wing this weekend. For a little bit of different style, bit of depth and development for him as well. Brilliant. But he's having a great game. Stefan Richardson, he's starting his first game as under 17-year-old.
Brilliant.
He'll be coming on from the bench. And probably one other back row player, which probably I will mention, is Rob Vint. So he is a workhorse that you never see, but his work rate is phenomenal. Yeah.
Typical back row dark arts. You don't really see them, but you know they're everywhere, and they appear at the bottom rucks and malls, everything, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's great.
You're saying obviously you're now looking for promotion. What's the long-term plans for Hellingly?
If we're looking 5 years, so I always joined. Roger got me involved very long ago. Roger's our ex-chairman and been a stalwart of the club, you know, for years, and. 5 years. I think we want promotion this year. That's definitely what and then we want to settle again.
Yep.
And then I would like to start pushing again. You know, we have the opportunities with some of the players. We've got a very young squad who have got 7 or 8 years in them. So we've just got to build that strength and depth. And that's my key part at the moment is not winning. It's about winning everything. But at the moment, I would suggest that our strength and depth within the club. You know, if I've got someone that dropped out, I've got another player to drop in there, and actually, it's not going to make much detriment to the team.
You're saying you had like 28 people to select from. What is the club make at the moment? You know, your firsts. Do you have a second? You're looking for one?
Not at the moment. So we've got on paper we've got 60 players.
Wow.
We can. They're not always available, and some of those are now moved into the older social scene. So the plan is to keep our first team and drive that. But on the back of that is to have a social team as well, where we have a bit of a giggle and have a bit of a laugh, but also gives those greener players or the newer players coming in a whole game time. So they get to learn the game, so they're developing into the thing. And that's for next year, really. This is the social side of the things we're going to build up.
I always think social side is really good because you say you've got the youngsters coming through at the 17-year-old you've got on the bench. You give them a chance in the social, it's a bit less stress, playing with some older heads who could teach them, maybe learn a bit of the dark arts, but how to game manage stuff. I think it'd be brilliant for the club as well. Yeah,
and we're really lucky that our players that don't get selected, they come along to support and they're still watching the game, they'll run on with the water. So it's a real big one squad, and I always hashtag this on my thing, is hashtag one squad, we're one team. Everybody's important as everybody else and everybody plays a big part in it.
Perfect. Obviously, as for we're doing, we're trying to emphasise a whole lot of grassroots. For you, what does the word grassroots kind of mean?
So for me, grassroots, so I've got people in the community who never played rugby before, and they're coming in now and we're teaching them. We've got 3 or 4 players that, we wouldn't put them on the pitch side at the moment, but they're developing, they're turning up training every week. This year we started developing a mini squad this year, and that is going for massive. And hats off to Derry and his team. They're developing those kids brilliantly. And the long-term plan is that we build and build and build, that we have a Colts team that we can then, an academy team that we can then build into thing, like a lot of other clubs are doing around here. But it's a long way off,
Long way off? Any sort of ambitions for a women's team as well, or do you have a women's team?
I'd love a women's team. I'd love any team. If we can get women down here, we're quite lucky that there's some really good, strong women's teams around here. But if we could start a women's team, it'd be fantastic, and have that going.
That's perfect. I said, literally everyone who's watching, if you're new to rugby in the area, want to get back into it, women's team, please, obviously, look at the socials, look at the pages. Yeah. What days do you train?
Tuesday nights we train at the moment, 6:45 through till about 8:30. We're up at Golden Cross Equestrian Centre at the moment, but if you get in contact with us, because we're flipping between here and there with the daylight. Unfortunately, our floodlights went recently, so we're on a bit of a bid to get those sorted, but yeah.
2 last things, bit of pressure now. Prediction for today's game for yourselves?
Hellingly to win, of course.
Of course.
Scoreline, I think it's going to be tight, so I'm going to go 25-21.
Perfect. And as Six Nations, Gatwick for Six Nations, Heartland Sleeve, who do you think is going to come out top of these Six Nations?
France. Still think France is going to come out there.
Last one, Wooden Spoon.
Wales. Sorry
Perfect.
about that. Sorry.
Ian, again, I've taken away for your team. Thank you very much, buddy.
Cheers.
Hopefully we'll catch you later on. Right, guys, I've got Steve from Hellingly Rugby Club. Steve, please introduce yourself, a bit about yourself, a bit about this club, please.
Fantastic. Hi, thanks for coming along today. It's really good to see you down here. So this is Hellingly Rugby Club. It's a small village north of Hellingly in East Sussex. The club's been started in 1972 by some guys who didn't want to travel all the way to Seaford every time, so we came out of there. And the club's had a great history. This ground here today, the park today, it was bought by guys, some of the boys from the village who came back from the First World War, and they bought the ground somewhere for the people in the village to have sports, and that sort of thing. In remembrance, of course, of their mates who didn't come back. They did that sort of thing. There's some guys after the Second World War, they built for us. It's all done by voluntary labour. It's done in the parish council. They really love this. This is a jewel in the crown of the village, really. The club, of course, this was a small village. Famous, of course, for the big mental hospital.
Yep.
It's the big duff on the road. Everyone knows that we are known as the Loonies for that reason. Of course, it's now largely gone, and it's a big housing estate. But it's just progress.
Yeah, progress,
progress, isn't it? So it's not so much of a village now. It's a bit edging on a small town. But yeah, we've been around for a long time. There's a cricket club here that's been here for 100 years. American flag football, they were out playing this morning and that sort of thing. We've got some bowls club here. They've been a table tennis club, and it's a sports and social club that we've had here for a long time. So it's good.
You're the president of the club, are you?
I'm the president of the club now. I've been doing that for 4 years before COVID. I started doing that. I was the chairman. I ran it for 4 years. Before that. Before that, I used to be around the junior section. So I first came to this club when my son was 6. That was the summer of 2003. Of course, we won the World Cup there, and of course he wanted to pick up rugby and do that. So I brought him along here. I was handed a tackle bag and said, help stand out here. And before you knew it, I was coaching. And before you knew it, I was heading the junior section, and I was running that. And I coached the kids, the teenagers, all the way through until my son was to the adult side, all the way through. And then I just sort of a bit of a lie down on the dark for a bit. Ran it. I played here. Obviously, when I was watching him play, my son play, I thought, I'll get back out and play that, And it's such a great club, It's a really great club to be a part of. It's very family friendly. I've really enjoyed my time here. Great friends and neighbours here and that sort of thing. I always said to my son, when you don't know where the wind's going to blow you now. He's living out of Brighton, but he went to Exeter University and everything else. And of course, he gets in the rugby teams, he's got 30 mates. Yeah. And that's the joy of rugby, isn't it? I think that's something we can, play a bit. Suddenly you've got 30 mates in that town. You don't know where the wind's going to blow you. And, I was into another roofer and car mechanic, and it's really good. And suddenly you know loads of people there. And it's just such a friendly sort of sport to be around. It's a hard game, but we love it.
Yeah. As chairman of the club, what is your kind of 5-year plan for Hellingly?
So it really is just to keep it as a friendly, family-orientated club. Some guys here, they're restarting the junior section again. Yep. We stopped it before COVID, and I come back to it again. So that's restarting again. There's a lot of enthusiasm about that. And so whereas other rugby clubs have struggled and are failing, we're starting to just take off again. Went from 2 sides to 1 side. We're now coming back. We've got a side and a half. So maybe in the next sort of 5 years, we'd like to get back to having a second team. and getting the mini section back up and running again. You know,
Yeah, I was speaking to Ian, your head coach. He says obviously you've got 60 players in the books, 28 players to pick from this game. You've had guys who are from stag do's, and you still managed to fill the places with competent players as well.
Absolutely, yes, that's right. Yes, we had flown high. We went up from Sussex 1. We won Sussex 1 outright when I was the chairman. So that was going back in 2015, 16.
Yep.
Went up into London South East 3. That's obviously much.
Yeah.
That's 7 pros. And we got battered. Came back down. And we sort of dropped and sort of found it since those days. But we've sort of hit the bottom and now on our way back up. We hope.
Brilliant. As I said, when obviously you guys got us down, you kind of hear about yourself as Grassroots Rugby. What does Grassroots Rugby mean to yourself?
Okay, so it's about getting involved really in the community. The players here, they're not into, it's about improving the quality and boosting sport, but within the community itself, you know. So that's, we know we're not going to end up in the Premiership, you know. But the guys who come along here, it's part of a community club, and that's really.
I'd say turning up, me driving down the road, and then suddenly seeing the post to my left.
Yes.
Turn around, came in the car park, brilliant. But just seeing the crowd here, coming down to watch a game. Unfortunately, as we would say, the game isn't quite going ahead as planned due to the referee pulling his back. But still seeing the guys, the supporters standing here watching the exhibition game.
It's going to be a friendly. Yeah, it's going to be a friendly now. So.
It kind of rings to the ethos of Grassroots Rugby and of Hellingly Rugby Club. So it is deep.
Yeah.
Again, thank you for inviting down. Thank you for your time.
You're very welcome. Thank you. Welcome to Hellingly.
Hello everyone, I've got Jerry from Hellingly. I keep getting it wrong.
Hellingly.
I
got it wrong because I only moved here about a year ago. I kept getting it wrong. So it's Hellingly.
Hellingly, yes. Jerry is the juniors.
Mini juniors head coach.
Perfect. Obviously, most clubs look to strengthen from below and upwards.
Yes.
What are you trying to do to get more youngsters involved at Hellingly?
Well, first of all, I love the games. That's most important. I moved to this area about a year ago, I've been coaching for 30 years at my last club, right the way through all the age groups. But as I got older, I drifted towards the younger age groups. So when I came along here just to watch the local club, as you do, and as you should, I realised they didn't have a mini junior section at all. So literally last September, the club got together and said, would you consider, and I did, they've supplied me with everything I needed. So it's an amazing club, a really good social club, a friendly neighbourhood club. It's got everything you could possibly need.
Perfect. And going through, we're trying to help try to spread the roots of grassroots. For yourself, what does the word grassroots mean?
For me, it does literally mean the local area, involving anybody and everybody, boys, girls, any age and every age. Generally speaking, I try to go for the younger age groups, because if you get them involved early, they tend to stay through. It's slightly harder to get involved when they're a bit older.
Yeah.
But every parent who doesn't have to know anything about rugby, but if you go along and watch Liddy's tag game, and watch the camaraderie, watch the atmosphere, everything about it, they leave thinking, where was this all my life?
I was quite lucky. I got brought up in a school which was very heavily into rugby, and the whole camaraderie, the teammates, the bonds you build, just normal life. So if you can start these young kids at a younger age playing, they stay more local or loyal to a club, but it also gives people more chance to build their friendships, which do last. I think it's brilliant.
We do loads of extra things as well. We have summer golf, rugby golf, we play that. We do lots of other things. We're going to have a water fight. I shouldn't say that out loud, but we're planning that as well. Loads of things over the summer to keep them occupied, keep them together as a team. Very important. And also, one of the things I said to them is that this is your second home. This everything you want to do. If you want a party for birthday party, it's here. you want your mates running around in the summer, it's here. Just let us know and we'll try to organise things.
The junior section at the moment, is it boys and girls?
It's absolutely, it's nearly 50-50.
Brilliant.
Yes.
And what are you doing to try and get these people into the club? You go out into the community?
We have offered, and some of the guys have. Craig, who's the captain here.
Yep.
He is a teacher.
Brilliant.
So he has gotten trying to get more players from the various schools involved. I'm always open to, if any school wants me to come along, more than happy to do it anytime, any place, anywhere.
No, that's perfect. What we do is say any schools do. How can they reach out to you? Is it through the club?
Through the club, yes.
Perfect. Reach out, club. Happy to come in and try and do some lessons for yourself there. To find out, on the minis,
Yes.
what days do you train and where and what times?
Like most rugby clubs as far as I know, 10 o'clock Sunday morning for 2 hours.
So where is it here?
It's right there, Lower Horse Bridge. Everyone welcome. We've got the ideal facility this term.
Perfect. Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank
It's a good win for us, wasn't it? Well,
Right, guys, I've got Rob from Hellingly, as I found out a couple of times now. Rugby Club. Rob, please introduce yourself, a bit about yourself, a bit about the club, the history of the club.
hi, I'm Rob Newton. I'm actually the treasurer around here, and what we're trying to do is just develop the club, making it a better place for all ages to come and enjoy playing rugby and actually having fun.
Perfect. Obviously, we've got a big game today. I guess it was you who reached out originally to get us down, so thank you very much for that.
I'm glad you've come along.
No, it's always been our pleasure. I have to say, these guys have shown me great hospitality so far. Food and wind up already, but I've got to be careful. I think you're too carried away. Today's game, Crowborough 2s. What do you reckon the scores will be? What's your prediction?
It's going to be very close. I'm hoping for a Hellingly win, but I think it's going to be very close.
Perfect. Yeah, a couple of people have said that so far. Now, you've said in our little chat before, the club's kind of growing strength. 3-4 months ago, potentially struggling for players.
We were. We lost quite a few to a neighbouring town. They swallowed up quite a few over the last couple of seasons. But as we just dig in deep, encouraging more people to come and join, getting our players in, keeping the morale up, and making this place such an attractive place to be part of, is making headway now.
No,
I mean, it's such an atmosphere here. You just have to look behind me and look at the people. It's just brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant here.
I'd say your setup's really good. I know there's lots of plans to expand, improve places already.
Yeah, we've got a whole development of the whole ground around here is due to take place at some point in the future. We've got plans to develop our clubhouse to make it more attractive for players, and also we want to be able to start women's rugby here and doing more youth rugby. So by developing our clubhouse, making it more attractive, because at the moment we are like stuck way back in the 70s and we're a bit stuck, and we really do need to have better facilities to make the place more enjoyable.
Obviously, as you said, as treasurer, what's kind of your sort of 5-year plan for Hellingly Rugby Club to potentially move you guys on and potentially make yourselves a force?
Literally developing the buildings so the place is good first for everybody to play in, and then just developing our coaches, training coaches up, those old ones who are stopping playing, getting them trained up, and then get specialist coaches out of them to focus in all areas of the club. So our top coaches who are coaching the adults can also coach the kids at the bottom. It's got to be through and through, and so that everyone can enjoy their rugby, whatever age, wherever you are.
Now, as we said, we're here sort of trying to highlight grassroots. So far, from what you said, you are kind of bringing the grassroots truth, bringing from below, making sure the community well looked after. Rob?
Absolutely.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Cheers.
you. After all, I've got Craig. Craig, you are the chairman of Hellingly Rugby Club. Mate, obviously today hasn't quite gone according to plan. with a referee twinging his back and crying off the last minute. Yourself, what's that mean to yourself? What disappointed? Probably understatement, isn't it?
Absolutely. Everyone's come here with the mindset we're going to come out, leapfrog the opposition into first place. Opposition had the same mindset. They want to keep us away from there. There's 2 teams raring to go today. And, yeah, very disappointing.
No.
Well, we say raring to go, you know. They didn't want to play the friendly today.
No, as I said, referee cancelled off. You managed to get someone who could officiate. Asked for 2 40 minutes. They wanted 4 20 minutes, and then they just kind of walked off. So a bit unfortunate today. The club kind of has that real, as I said, grassroots feel. What does grassroots rugby mean to yourself?
I mean, for me, I sat in the chair as chairman at the start of this season. I'm following someone that's done a lot of work for this club. I mean, there's a lot of older gentlemen, veterans here of the game that really put the foundations in. We've been up and down like every club, but the grassroots for me starts at the minis, which we start again in September.
Yeah.
It's just getting the whole community playing rugby. It's affordable, accessible, and that's our motto here. You can come and play rugby, big, small, skinny, whatever you are, come along. We've got a lovely family feel here, so.
You definitely have that. From the moment I got here, everything's so welcoming, so warm. So I do say, if there's anyone in the Hellingly area or close to it who wants to play rugby, looking to get back into rugby, a woman looking to play sport, a young girl, young child looking to play, I can't see much further than this place if you're in the area. So going from that, as chairman, what is kind of your long-term plan for Hellingly? What's the 5-year, 2-year plan for this club?
Okay, at the moment, we've, as I said, started minis. I'm also teaching at a local secondary school, so I'm coaching them on a Tuesday after school. I'm going to try and start the Colts team as soon as possible to be a feeder to our men's side. So we're going to push with minis if we can start from the bottom, build our way up.
I kind of, through my time of doing this, I've kind of felt that there's not enough rugby played in schools, unless you've got a teacher who is an advert, rugby player, fan, pushing it. I find a lot of other schools, football, even that is the main sport they play, and that's the kind of what gets pushed in schools.
Absolutely, we're predominantly football and cricket in there, but I'm so proud that there's 30 kids coming every Tuesday after school, so and it's growing, so hopefully we encourage them to come down and play for their local team as well.
No, perfect. Who's your next game against? When is it?
We have Holbrook next weekend.
At home?
Yeah. So
again?
West Sussex team come over.
Perfect. What time's kick off?
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock in the area. 3 o'clock. Please come down. Try out the hospitality they've got here. Clubhouse is quaint. Love it. Hopefully, see some good rugby.
Absolutely, it'd be fantastic. What a show!
Perfect.
They done us over last time, so
hopefully with a revenge game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. You guys are making the most of this free afternoon now. I'll let you get back to your scrummaging practice. Enjoy pushing that metal sled around, all right?
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Perfect. Thank you. Cheers. Right, guys, I have got Peter here. Peter, you are the co-founder of Hellingly Rugby Club.
One of the founders, yes. Basically, it's a pub across the road there called the White Rock. And when I first moved here in 72, I moved from Derby down to Sussex. And we used to go to the pub and have a drink and have a laugh. And we found 4 people there who used to play rugby pretty fast. I used to play for Rolls Royce back in the day in Derby.
Okay.
And Dave Northover, another co-member. Chris Kelly, who owned the bike shop in Aylsham, and the landlord of the King's Head across the road as well. And we were the first people who started the club up. So what we would do is go around and try to get players. One of the places at the time was the Hospital Club at Hellingly Hospital. Basically, I would go there and look for the biggest people and say, "You haven't played rugby? I've only played once or twice in school." I said, "Right, would you fancy coming on a game?" And it turned out, yes, some of them did. In fact, one of the first players we had was a bloke called Paul Marler, Joe Marler's dad.
Oh, wow.
And he'd never played rugby in his life. He was a big old rump, and he came up and played, and we had a wonderful time.
So potential out you, we may have not have had the Joe Marler.
No,
His dad hadn't played rugby either.
No, his dad had never played before.
Brilliant.
And all of a sudden, the ball played, great player, wonderful time. We'd go around the pubs and the clubs locally and try to find people to play the game. And we had a lovely time, and it was interesting.
That's amazing. I can only say, through my experience being here this time, Grassroots Rugby, if you look at the dictionary,
Yes.
you would look up Hellingly Rugby Club.
I would have thought so at the time.
Exactly. So, in your eyes, in your thoughts, Grassroots Rugby, what does that mean to yourself? What would that kind of look like for you?
Well, basically, it's getting people who've never seen the game before, never played the game before, to come along and appreciate what a lovely game it is. Bloody hard game,
It is.
especially someone my size. But I thoroughly enjoyed every bit of it. I played until my 40s.
Wow.
When I packed in and started running after that. There we go. And we had a wonderful time.
Amazing. A little birdie told me one of the other co-founders of Hellingly Rugby Club potentially stopped the rugby to be a roadie for Led Zeppelin. Is that correct?
That's right. His name was David Lawson. He was wasn't the first tour to America, but one of the tours. It was Peter Grant, the guy who started Led Zeppelin,
Yep.
lived at Horse Rogers Manor, which was about a mile away from the road there. And we used to all go to another pub up the road and eat the fixture. It seems to be like social life in those days was basically a pub, which it was, of course. And, you know, Dave was, he landed up, he's our first captain we had here. And halfway through the season, he left to go and be the roadie for Led Zeppelin, which he did for many years. I recently got hold of him again, and he lives up in Oxfordshire, and he was going to come down last year, but something happened, he couldn't come down. But lovely bloke, haven't seen it for a long, long time.
Did you not think about going with him then?
Me?
Yeah, did you go be roadie for Led Zeppelin as well, or did Hellingly have too much of a hold on you, was it?
No, it wasn't that, I was too busy working.
No, that's perfect. And obviously, after many years, you're still part of the club. What makes Hellingly Rugby Club so special to yourself, apart from obviously starting it?
Well, I think basically it's a community club, it's a friendly club. If we look around today, people of all ages and guises come here, enjoy themselves and have a good time, and it's the community. Back in the days when we started off as a White Hart back in '73, and other clubs playing away would come and stop there and have a drink on the way home because it was such a lovely social club. And then, of course, in those days, the pubs, we had a landlord there, his name was John Tolhurst, and he was very accommodating. Without him, we couldn't have done it. And of course, in those days, the ball was shut at 2:30.
Okay.
And we couldn't open again until 6:30. So, John was flexible. But when he left, we had a problem, you know. And then there was a pub up the road called the Boat-Ship Arms. And I would then go along, go to the hotel as a guest, as a member, a paying guest. And they would let me come in, and I could then have social members coming in with me. So for about 7 years, we landed up basically all 30 players here, 35 players, all going to the pub up the road, as my guests.
Yeah, you were 35 players all walking in, their bar takings must have gone through the roof on those days.
We had a wonderful time. You know, we've had this has been the Grassroots Social Club, and luckily it still is.
Perfect.
It hasn't tried to be anything else. It's been for local people enjoying themselves and finding all sorts of skills. I mean, we have a bowls club, a football club. When we first started, we didn't have a ground.
Yep.
We played our games away, and then we approached the local cricket club here, that's the pitch, and they offered us a bit of ground there.
Yep.
And it's been great. We've got on well with the other teams. I remember playing bowls against I was beaten by a lady called Molly Buster, who was 82 and stuffed me. So we learned all sorts of lessons from Chris. I've had a lovely time. I'm now getting on in years, as you can see, but it's been nice. It's still nice. I mean, I live in Hastings now. I haven't been to have a drink.
Always. On the safe side.
So basically, I got my train and bus, which has been fun, and it's lovely to see everybody.
No,
Really nice.
again,
And thank you very much.
no, again, thank you to the club for inviting us down. It's been a pleasure. And Peter, again, thank you very much for your time.
I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Thank you for your
Right, guys, that is the end of Rugby through League's Grassroots days. Not quite what we expected. Crowborough, unfortunately, were unable to. Well, the game wasn't finished because the referee injured himself. Crowborough wanted for 20 minutes and Hellingly wanted to play the 40 minutes. Agreement could be reached, so obviously the game didn't go ahead. But as I say, as Grassroots Rugby days go, Hellingly is definitely up there with the best of them. The hospitality was second to none. Clubhouse thing is a bit on the quaint side, but plans they've got going forward are going to take this club on to the next level. And stories. Wow, some of the stories they've told me. Finding out that one of the co-founders went as roadie for Led Zeppelin. Joe Marler's dad was one of the first players they managed to coerce to play rugby. Never played before. Joe Marler's first ever game, I believe, was for Hellingly as well. Got dressed in the pub, which is just over there, which you can't see. And yeah, so the history of this club is amazing. And so anyone is in the area, please drop in. I'd love to see you. And I think you'll enjoy your time here. Thank you.